Hi, and welcome to the Heart of a Perfectionist podcast. I'm your host, Teighan Thompson. I'm a book lover, a chocoholic, and an INTJ living in a world filled with extroverts. I made this podcast to share my experiences and struggles as an introverted perfectionist, and to bring the inner workings of an introvert's mind to introverts and extroverts alike. So grab a cup of tea and get comfortable. It's time to unmute. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Heart of a Perfectionist podcast. I just want to start by saying thank you to everyone who supported me and bought some THP merch. I'm so excited to get those in the coming week, and I hope you guys are looking forward to yours too. I just want to say I will be designing some new merch, so be on the lookout for that announcement in the coming weeks. I'll probably put it on social media and announce it in one of my podcasts when that will be happening. So this week, we will be talking about something that has been termed the Introvert Hangover, and this is actually a new term for me that I just recently learned about, and I was so excited to learn about it and to finally have like a name for something that I, as an introvert, experience frequently, to be honest. So what is an introvert hangover? In its simplest form and explanation, an introvert hangover is extreme social burnout or social exhaustion. It's a form of fatigue that can result in real mental and physical effects. And I've kind of talked about social exhaustion before, and I know that it's easy for people who don't experience this feeling of social exhaustion, such as extroverts, to view this as a fake or another made-up thing that introverts use to kind of get out of things, or to use when they just don't want to do something, right? But it is real, and I've personally experienced it, so I'm going to kind of just talk a little about the signs of an introvert hangover. And the first thing is irritation. And this is when everything, and I mean every little thing, gets on your last nerves. Kind of driving you crazy, and you just, it can almost be perceived as like cranky, I would say. For me, I get very, very sarcastic, and might even be insulting sometimes, and starting arguments that actually can turn into pretty vicious fights. And yeah, I don't really know how to explain this one. I just know that I get in this place where I'm like, I don't want to deal with anything right now, but I have to, and I'm going to deal with it this way because I want to. I know it doesn't help the situation, but like, I just do it. And I, like, my family can attest to that. I do that quite often. It's like, sometimes I even stop and I'm like, why are you being like this, Teighan? Like, why? Like, just a couple nights ago, I was watching one of the women's NCAA games, and for March Madness, and I don't even know, we were watching it, and one of the girls, she's just bothering me. I don't know why. It wasn't her or anything. It was just like I was exhausted, and I had a full day at work and had to do other stuff when I came home, and I just was exhausted, and I became irritated, and I took it out on this random girl who I don't even know, and I was watching play basketball through the TV. Yeah. It happens and can be taken out on anyone. But yeah, irritation is definitely the big thing for me, and just kind of a big thing in general for the introvert hangover. Another sign of the introvert hangover is the inability for the introvert to think clearly. And this feels like your brain is just a large pile of like mushy nothingness, like just like complete mush. Like someone took a whatever those things that you use to pound out meat is, like they took that and they just like pounded out your brain. That's what it feels like. And you process things very, very slowly, and you struggle to make decisions, even some of the smallest decisions. This happens to me a lot at night, and I'll kind of like look over to my youngest sister and I'll be like, should I have ice cream tonight? I don't know. And then I look for her to make a decision. Or, hey, should I watch TV? And I look at her to make a decision. And if we watch TV and it's like, what should we watch? It's like, I just can't make a decision, and it's like my brain can't think. And another part of this is zoning out of conversations. Like, you know someone's talking. You know they're talking to you. You know you should be listening. But like, their voice just fades into the background, and you like get caught up in all of your thoughts and daydreamingness that happens. So yeah, definitely it's like this inability to just like think clearly, and do the things that go along with thinking clearly. Another sign is that the introvert's speech or talking will become difficult for them. And this usually manifests itself with the introvert saying the wrong word or not being able to find the word that they want to say. This happens to me all the time. I'll be like, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't know what the word is. Or sometimes I'll just be talking and I say a completely wrong word and I don't even notice that I say it, but like my whole family would just like start laughing and I'd be like, what? And be like, well, you said this, but you meant this. And I was like, whatever, I don't even care. You knew what I meant. It's like, again, the irritation shows in that moment. But yeah, saying the wrong word or not being able to find the word you want to use. The words you say slurring together, almost coming across as if you're a little drunk. And I've actually heard this before from my family and from some friends before, and they're like, you sound like you're drunk. And I'm like, well, I don't drink, so I'm not. It's just it's been a long day and I need sleep, you know? And so your words just kind of like become one jumbled sentence that is hard to distinguish. And at its worst, when I'm like so exhausted, I don't even attempt to speak. Like, my speech is just gone. I'm just like, words are not for me right now. And so I'll go to just doing gestures or making faces or like using my eyes to look at things or something. Like if someone's talking to me and I'm like, they're like, where is that? And I might like point at it or just like look at it. Like I don't even attempt to use words because I know that it won't work. And it's better if I just use my other resources and gesture, or I like making faces. Faces are my thing. I make a lot of faces. So yeah. And the last sign I have on here is feeling tired, obviously, or also feeling physically unwell. So most often, well, all the time, because it's a form of social exhaustion, is that you're going to feel exhausted and sluggish, and like your energy has been deprived. And so you're going to have this overwhelmingly strong desire to sleep, to find a bed or a couch or a nice spot on the floor or even a chair sometimes, standing against a wall. I'm not going to lie, anywhere that I can just close my eyes for a second would be so great. And just take a nap. And like some introverts, I know that I do this. I might even skip their normal routine just to sleep. Like, I usually go to bed around 10:30 or 11, and sometimes I'm so tired that I'm at like 9 or 9:30. I'm like, nope, I'm just going to bed. I'm going to bed now. I can't stay awake any longer. And if I do, you're going to see a side of me that you don't ever want to see. And so I'll go to bed early or take naps in the middle of the day, whatever it is, and just kind of forego my normal routine because I need it. In extreme cases, some people might actually feel physically sick, and for me, when it gets really bad, I can get some pretty bad headaches, even some stomach aches, or feeling dizzy. And this happens to me not often, but it does happen to me, and that's kind of when I know that I need to just like go in my room, lay down, and sleep. Or just sometimes I just lay down and I will stare at my ceiling or out my window, whatever it is, so that I can like regain some energy, you know? So yeah, so those are just a couple of the signs of what an introvert hangover might look like. Again, it's like extreme social burnout, and often that's going to manifest itself through irritation, the inability to think clearly, a change in your speech, or talking becoming difficult, and then also feeling tired and possibly even sick. So before I close out this episode, I just want to take a moment to say that I know as an introvert that it can be hard to deal with this and find a way to make sure you feel healthy and happy when social exhaustion happens. So I just want to say, take care of yourself. It's so important to take care of yourself. Your needs, no matter what they are valid. They're completely 100% valid. And I know that in an extroverted world, introverts may feel like they are an inconvenience to other people when they attend to their social exhaustion related needs, but you're not. It is so important to put yourself first sometimes and to take care of yourself mentally and physically, because, you know, if you don't put yourself first, you kind of show other people that it's okay to put themselves first and kind of become less of a priority to yourself and to other people. And so making sure that you are always putting yourself as a priority is so important. So important. And it leads to self-respect and self-love, and I think that's such a great thing to learn. And yeah, so, it's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to leave a party or a social function early, like an hour after it happens, 2 hours after it happens, whatever it is. It's okay to leave it early. It's okay to take a nap in the middle of the day or 2 hours after you woke up. Like, if you need a nap, take that nap. It's okay to spend time alone, no matter how much people say that you're a loner and you need to spend more time with people. It's okay to spend time alone if that is what you need. And it's okay to say no. I know I've said this before. It is okay to say no, especially when saying no is better for you. So, I hope that if you take anything away from this episode, it's that you'll know that it's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to make decisions that prioritize yourself, and letting people know that you need to take care of yourself in this moment or at that time, rather than do whatever it is they want you to do, is okay. They may feel disappointed in that moment, but in the long run, it's what's best for you, and it's gonna be what maintains your health and your ability to maintain healthy relationships with other people. So, take care of yourself. Put yourself first. It's okay to do that. All right. So I know this was a shorter episode, but thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Heart of a Perfectionist podcast. And if you enjoyed it, or if you learned anything new, please go share it with a friend. And as always, have a good weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week on the Heart of a Perfectionist podcast.